Hey book nerds, welcome to my channel. So, at the start of the year, I had over 1,000 books on my Goodreads TBR list. This, if you haven't noticed, is a lot of books. So, I was kind of thinking how I could resolve this issue. I decided the best thing to do was just to go through section by section, genre by genre, and remove any book that I was no longer interested in reading or that had below a 3.5 average rating on Goodreads, with a couple of exceptions. If it had below that rating and I really loved the sound of it, that wasn't going to stop me from reading it, but I basically went through a lot of books doing this, and this is going to be the first of many videos where I am purging my TBR, so it is a TBR unhaul, if you will. These are all going to be ebooks, so it's not a traditional unhaul, but I have got images on my iPad to show you all the covers, so hopefully you'll still enjoy watching it. For reference, some of these are books that I got for free off Amazon on like deals on the Kindle. It's not like I'm unhauling a bunch of books that I paid full price for. Most of them I got for like 99p, so I still wasted a lot of money, but it's not quite as bad as it looks. So I just want people to bear that in mind, because sometimes people worry about being judged on BookTube, so I just wanted to clarify that. Yeah, so I'm just going to start unhauling the books because I've got quite a lot of them to get through. So the first book I definitely got for free, that is Incubation by Lauryl DiSilverio. This, I think I only got it because it was free, and it was when I just got my Kindle and I was kind of excited about adding loads of books to it. But this is a sci-fi series, and it's a dystopian sci-fi series, and it's about a world where teenagers live in bunkers, and then they have to, like, the government controls pregnancy, so they select specific teenagers to be pregnant, and then in this bunker the main character's friend gets pregnant, so they break out of the bunker and go on the run, and a bunch of people are trying to take her friend's baby. That's what I believe it's about. I unhauled this for the simple reason I'm not a massive sci-fi fan to begin with, and it didn't sound that great to me. The next one is 666 by Yrsa Spindler. I got this at the time I got really into Yrsa Spindler. I have a couple of her books and I've only read one of them, but she's quite a prolific thriller writer, and I didn't realise what this was when I got it. So it is the sequel to a series, and it's not a thriller, it's more like a fantasy thriller. So it's about people who've got powers, and I don't know what happened in the first one, but they like solving murders with their powers, something like that. It's not my genre, it's like a paranormal type thing. Basically I'm unhauling it because I didn't realise what it was when I got it. I don't have the first one in the series, and I'm not into the paranormal investigations so much, so I probably shouldn't spend money on the first one when I don't really want to read the second one. The next one, I'm not even sure I am definitely unhauling, but it is Grace Lost by M. Laurel Lewis. This is a zombie book, and I have a mixed relationship with zombie books. So I read Please Remain Calm by Courtney Summers, and that's one of my favourite books ever. That's a really good zombie book, highly recommend it if you haven't read it. And so after rereading that, I think, again, when I first got my Kindle, I got a bunch of zombie books off Amazon, the free ones that were like, sounded like they were character based. So this is a zombie apocalypse book, and it's a bunch of people, and there's a girl who has a psychic link to the dead, and so she can hear what the zombies are thinking, and that still sounds really interesting to me, so I might still end up reading this if I get back into a zombie mood. But I honestly have like 12, maybe more, zombie books on that TBR, and I think all the other ones just sounded better. The next one is The Hatching by Ezekiel Boone. Look at that cover, that is a great cover. We got this in at work, and I was going to buy it, and then I realised it was cheaper to buy it on ebook, so I got it on ebook because I prefer to read books that way. This is a horror, about like spiders hatching all over the world and eating people. I added it because I want to read a lot more horror that isn't Stephen King, and I've been doing that this year and it's going really well. There was something about the blurb that just put me off a little bit, and it's also in a series, so there's at least 2 of these, there might be more, and I'm not really into series, so while the concept sounds good, I don't want to devote myself to reading multiple books about that concept, and there are more books on my horror TBR that I am more interested in than this one. This one, I think I just added, maybe I added a bunch by this author, but that's Dead Run by P.J. Tracey. I think we got one of these into work, and I think it might have been this one. But it's a thriller about these people who, I think their car breaks down or something, and then they go to this town and all the power lines have been cut and everyone in this town's acting weird, and then there's like a double murder in the town and they get involved. I'm not really sure what's going on in it, but I had loads by this author and then I got rid of all the other ones and I kept this one on. I'm not sure why I kept this one on, and then when I went through again I was just like, no, I'll just get rid of it. I've got loads and loads of thrillers to read. I think the majority of the books on my TBR are thrillers, and there are ones that I'm more interested in than this one, so it's gone. This one pained me to unhaul, but it's the smart thing to do, and that is Too Close for Comfort by Eleanor Moran. This, first of all, this cover is really nice. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got little raindrops on it and they're really, really detailed, and I think it's beautiful. But this is a thriller that sounds right up my street, and it's about a woman who gets a call from an old friend, and the old friend has a friend who has committed suicide. And the friend who committed suicide is like a famous artist, but everyone's weird about her and no one's talking about the fact that her death was suspicious or she hated heights or something like that. And the main character goes to meet her old friend to investigate this woman's death. This sounds great, but it's gotten really bad ratings on Goodreads, and really bad reviews, and I read them and I was like, I need to get this off my list, even though I love thrillers about female friendships, because it just sounded really bland and I knew that I was going to end up reading it and not liking it. So as much as this still interests me as a premise, it has to go. Next one is Evil Games by Angela Marsons. She's really famous. You may have read a book by her if you like thrillers. I've read a book by her. I got an arc of her latest one last year. She's probably published another one by now because I think she pops them out quite quickly. These are all part of a police procedural series. I think this is the second one. I added this before I requested the arc, like long before, and then I read the arc and it was fine. It was a 3 out of 5. It was a perfectly good police procedural, but I wasn't that into it, and I just decided that I should get rid of this one because I'd probably rate it exactly the same, and I'm trying to cut down the number of perfectly fine books that I read. Next one I'm a little iffy about what's actually about, and that is I Came to Find a Girl by Jack Hazell. This I kind of gone back and forth on, and it is a thriller and it's about an art gallery who's exhibiting a serial killer's work, but I'm not really sure what it's about beyond that, and that's kind of why I unhauled it, because I think I got this one on a deal, or I got it for free on deal, and while there was definitely something about it that made me want to pick it up, again, I think it got fairly mediocre ratings, and it's just another thriller to add to my growing thriller list. So yeah, it's gone. Next one is Pendulum by Adam Hamdy. This is shockingly another thriller. This one is really easy for me to summarise why I got rid of it. It is about a man who wakes up and he's like in a serial killer's trap or something, and then he escapes and he's on the run for his life and he's being chased by this guy. I misunderstood what this is about when I got it because I am not a fan of stories about people on the run from things, anything like that. I'm just not interested in. So I'm holding it for that simple reason that I don't like cat and mouse chase stories, and I don't think I'd find this interesting. The next one is shockingly another thriller, and that is The Sleepless Ones by James Marrison. This has one of the most vague generic thriller premises, which is why I'm unhauling it, but it is a police procedural thriller, and something bad happens at a farm, and that's basically all I know about it, and that's why I'm unhauling it, because in addition to the low ratings and not being interested in them, I'm also trying to get rid of just generic thrillers, and this just sounded like one of them. The next one, I thought it was a thriller, but it's actually not, and that is Still Water by Linda Kavanagh. This is about a soap opera star who has a dark secret, and the blurb is really, really long, and it basically repeats itself like 20 times, and it's just saying that she's got a secret, and that's all it says. Like I said, I thought this was a thriller, and it's not based on the cover because it's like a romancy cover, this version, and it has a little thing saying if you like Jodie Picoult, which I do not, so yeah, not what I thought it was. Next one is The Legacy. I'm not even going to try and say the author's name, I'm sorry, but that is the author's name. And it is about a woman, or a psychologist, who is working with a little girl who witnessed a crime, trying to find out what happened. I think I was quite interested in this book, and then I read a book with that premise last year. I read an arc, and I really, really liked that arc. And I basically don't think that this can be... I don't think that it's worth me reading this anymore, because either I don't think I'm going to enjoy it more than the one I read with the same premise anyway. So yeah, I'm getting rid of it. The next one is The Ice Child by Camilla Lackberg. This, I think I got it confused with The Ice Twins by S.K. Tremaine, I want to say is the name, which I am still super hyped to read, and that is still on my TBR. But this is about I think it's a police procedural, and it's about a woman who was captured by a serial killer, and she managed to escape, but then she got hit by a car, and there's still some people missing who were trapped by the serial killer, and they're trying to find them before time runs out. Again, I'm not that into police procedurals. I've got a couple of books with the same kind of premise that I find more interesting, and yeah, it's gone. And the final one for this video is Pink Slips by Beth Aldrich. This is about a pregnant woman who is getting threatening letters, and the blurb says that her dog helps her save the crime, and it mentions her dog multiple times, which is why I've unhauled this, because I'm not really interested in hearing about a dog solving a crime. This I think I got purely because it's free. The blurb I got wasn't the one that I read on Goodreads, so I don't remember what the original blurb was, but it made it sound more interesting to me. And yeah, again, doesn't sound like that good a thriller. Got loads of thrillers to read. So that concludes my first TBR unhaul. My plan is to continue doing these, so if you like them, let me know, that would be helpful. If you don't like them, let me know how I could improve them maybe, or just let me know if you don't want to see them, I guess, because I won't upload them if no one wants to watch them. But yeah, my TBR desperately needs a clean out, and this is the first step to doing that. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, it helps me out massively, and I hope to see you next time.